So here's this Netflix setup, and I've seen Netflix do this a million times where it's like, oh, it's too high, but this one could do it, and then it just goes on the parabolic runs. So I'm looking at this all-time high level at 420 back in June 2018, and now Netflix on a really good earnings report is turning that area into support. So I was trying to feel my way into a trade there. I actually had a fucking $500,000 of this thing today. I walked away with a $120 loss. That's impressive.
That's not bad.
That's not bad. So I think I
Penny,
lost like
penny a share.
yeah, exactly. I lost a penny on the trade. I'll show you how I traded it. So the price points we got to see on the daily here are 416 and then 413, which is the low of this flag. So I was buying my first shares on the dip this morning at the low of the flag, and then once I got confirmation, it kind of moved higher, added to position. Then it came down to turn this 425 area into support. I added some, and then when it didn't push up from here, this is when the market first began to look very stagnant to me, then it came right back down to my price, and that's when I started to get out of my position. So I had like 500K here, and then I just down ticked 300K once I see this, it doesn't have the juice in it. So, that ends up being a nothing trade for me, and you can see the daily, it's like nothing happened. It's so funny, I can spend my entire day looking at every tick of this chart, and it's like literally nothing. So that was really it. I haven't done a ton. What do you got?
All right, I got two little ones. So one is, again, people were talking about Snap earlier today. So, we had Carl last week make it was like 300%. So I've been sneakily in. I bought a decent amount of Snap back in 2018 at 7. So I've just been holding on just so I can get like a 400 or 500% trade. So just been sitting on it, not telling anyone. Just so I got one ready. So that's just me just being patient. We spoke about some of the guys got in. I believe it was today. If you look out, the 18 level has been a pretty significant area of resistance in this Snapchat. And we really don't talk about it too much because there's just so much easier names to trade. But that's just been one I've been sitting in for over a year now. And then I guess the bad one that's starting to turn around is going to be, again, American Express. I mentioned a little bit too early up through that 90. This was like March 13th. And again, it was just too early. The one main mistake for me looking at a lot of these charts was, again, during that time, the big thing was looking at that retest of the 2018 lows in the SPY. My mistake was expecting it to be, a perfect retest and bounce off that, when usually on the way down, you get those shakeout moves. And that was my mistake. So I had to sit through some pain, but now it's, again, starting to consolidate. And now we're starting at our entry where I can start to add in up through 96, and then again, look to add through 90, and then eventually up through 100 in time for that move back to 140. And I would expect this to take, probably at least the better part of a year,